I'm keeping it real. If this happened to me, I honestly would probably just give up coloring in general, or if not that, probably swear to myself never to really try to color or even talk about this series that this manga author wrote. Now, to be completely fair here, at the end of the day, this is the manga author's, property. For instance, it is his work, it is something he worked on, and it makes perfect sense for him to talk about copyright defended, etc. He is in the right, so to speak, to say what he said. There is technically, all things considered, yeah, he could say this. But there is a line here in terms of community and all that, and it could be just a language barrier at that, because obviously this is Google Translate. But when you see someone do artwork of a series, like, you see this, okay? This is a coloring of a manga that I'm assuming is from Shuujin Riku or Prisoner Riku. I'm going to be honest with you, I never heard about these two manga until literally I saw this post trending on social media and a lot of people quote retweeting it and talking about it, as you can see here. And there's just so many posts like this just talking about it. I mean, you could scroll down and just see for yourself that, a lot of people are currently discussing this. And there is a line here to where, yeah, the author of a manga does have all rights, and this is not just for manga authors, but anyone that makes literature and stuff or artwork. They have a complete right to, protect their work. For instance, not wanting someone to color their work or make fan art of it, etc. I think that's completely fine. I understand that sentiment. But as I talked about, there is a line here to where, like, at the end of the day, from what I can gather from people talking about this individual here, this is I don't see it, but people have said that this individual here is like a 15-year-old person. So if this is really like a 15-year-old boy that did this, it's very clear the reason why they colored this and colored over this manga panel is because they were a mega fan of this and they wanted to share it with their favorite manga author. And their manga author that they probably looked up to, like their hero, so to speak, which makes this this post here that you saw here, like, the incredible scene, makes it understandable, because the first post that the author said was, "This is a line drawing I did, so please delete it. There is a possibility that people who see this picture will mistakenly think that I colored it. This coloring has no ingenuity or sense, and the image is completely different. It is completely different from fan art that was created by someone who saw my picture, drew a new line drawing, and colored it." But then the individual, went even further, and if you go further on, they talk about it more in depth. They basically start kind of saying, like, it's really repulsive and bad here. As the original author, there are two cases where I give permission for a coloring book. One is when I request that someone colors my work and I pay them. The other is when the coloring is done in a way that I am satisfied with, is full of ingenuity and humor, and captures the meaning of the picture. This time, neither of these cases apply. And obviously, they basically say that the very fan art and coloring is very unpleasant. So the worst thing that a manga author could say is no. But then you see this, and you're like, yikes. Like, it just can't help but feel bad for the person that colored the manga panel. I'm going to be completely blunt here. Even though, obviously, as I said, the manga author is in the right to be, against fan arts and colorings and stuff. I can understand that. At the end of the day, this is an individual that just really loves this author's work and wanted to appreciate that by coloring something of what they thought the scene represented in their head, maybe the color tones, etc., the eyes, and just wanted to share that with someone that they cared about. And I don't see nothing really wrong with that. Now, once again, I think that the reaction from what I'm seeing from the community is pretty interesting. Basically, I see one half of the community saying what I've already talked about, it's the author's right to do that. Yeah, fair. Completely fair. But on the other hand, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we all appreciate stuff. And, this individual probably looked up to the author like an idol. There's so many people out there that look up to, like, their favorite writers or artists, actors, whatever, as idols, and they inspire to be like them. And when you finally have your first interaction with them, your first thought is it's going to be something pleasant, something very nice. But that obviously was not the case right here and what happened. And it's sad. Like, this actually made me very sad when I saw this, because imagine, like, all those that do colorings of, like, My Hero Academia, JJK, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, Boruto, Naruto, all those different series over the years, just so many different series that have done color panels. Like, they've colored panels and they, release them to kind of showcase their favorites or favorite moments of a manga. You see it all the time on social media. And imagine if your favorite author just replied to you and said, this is repulsive, basically. Like, saying this, like, going back to the top, saying it's extremely unpleasant, and then basically saying it lacks ingenuity and humor, and it's basically awful. I could not imagine the devastation to someone's just day, like, just how they feel if this happened. Like, I don't know how I would react. Oof. Like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't know. I don't really know. But, yeah, I saw this, and what do you think? Like, I'm curious on what you guys think in the community. Do you think that this was right for the manga author to do? I mean, look, here's the thing. If the author is against fan arts and coloring in general, then I think all fan art, should be kind of cut out. It shouldn't be done for the series. If, like, for instance, the artist or the author of the series, doesn't like fan art, fine, that's fair. But basically, with the posts that were made, he pretty much says that if it's copyrighted, he'll allow it, obviously, if it's paid. But if it's not paid work, and it's just something he enjoys or likes, he'll allow it to fly. So, pretty much what this means is that the author's like, I disliked this coloring you did of my page so much that, in fact, I hate it. You should delete it. And so it's like, oh, if it's a coloring he's fine with, completely, it's fair. He'll allow it to be. And once again, he's in his right for that. But once again, I'm going to keep it real. It's kind of rude. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep it 100. It's kind of freaking rude. That's it. I said it. I said it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be completely on the author's side for this, because even if maybe there is some things I am unaware of with this circumstance, with what I have gathered and what people have talked about, obviously, all over social media at this point, I'm on the fence to where it's like, author has the right to protect their work, but at the end of the day, it's just a coloring. It's just celebrating one of their favorite moments, and all this does is give basically a bad image. And, this scene really has never been more relevant, so to speak, in this conversation. But, I'll leave it at that. Like, tell me your thoughts. Do you think the offer was justified? Do you think the offer was not justified? Do you think it was an overreach? Do you think that there could have been a nicer thing said about this? Be honest in the comments below. I'm legitimately curious. And, if you have any more information to provide about this subject, then do so as well in the comments. But, I'll leave it at that. Just something I saw, and I could not imagine if this happened to other famous, like, people that color manga. Like, oh my goodness. But, okay, be safe, stay healthy, guys. Chibi out.